All right, yes, it is. It's a Thursday, September 3rd, and welcome. You're watching video right now of a slopper eating contest. This is in 2019. It's the World Champion Slopper Eating Contest, Colorado State Fair, right in our backyard, and today's going to be a great show. Thanks for tuning in. Again, a Thursday. Looking forward to a great weekend, too. In the meantime and in between time, aside of Jay Parker and Brian Freeman, I'm Greg Hollenbach, and I'm just going to get right to it and introduce our guests. The first guest that I would like to introduce to our show is Darren Breden. He is the slopper eating champ, and it's good to see you, Darren. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's an absolute pleasure to be on.
Oh, it's good to see you. First of all, what a slopper. I can see you eating. We've got a side-to-side video of you right now from last year. It doesn't look easy, but I want you to describe, you were there so you can picture it. We're playing video of you last year just drinking and eating and getting going. Talk about a slopper in the contest, if you would.
Yes, actually, believe it or not, I didn't even know what a slopper was until I competed at the event. So I found out, okay, in a few weeks from now, I want to be eating a lot of sloppers, so I hope I like this stuff. And thankfully I did. I found out that it was an open-faced burger with a chili sauce on it, and I didn't really practice it for it per se, except for just working on my building up my stomach capacity, so to speak. But other than that, I just winged it right there on the spot. So basic strategy going in, just grabbing the burger, taking a few bites out of it, chasing it down with some fluids, rinse and repeat for 8 minutes.
Unbelievable.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat. I mean, and that's a pretty bold thing. But look, I'm going to guess you're probably, about 5'11" and 170 pounds.
Close, 6 foot 180.
6 foot 180. So, I mean, you're not a huge guy by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm looking at what the stats were here. You put down last year, Darren Breden, 28 and a quarter sloppers in 8 minutes, and that's pretty remarkable.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Definitely takes a good mix of tenacity and stupidity, that's for sure.
So how many contestants did you face up against last year in the slopper eating contest?
I don't remember the exact number, but I think there were about 10 of us.
10 of you getting going, and I'm looking at it now. You were sitting right next to a young lady who actually put up a fight and came in second. She, Michelle Lesko, 18 sloppers in, 5.3. Wait, what am I looking at here? Michelle Lesko, 18.5 is what she had in the same amount of time.
She wasn't even
8
close,
minutes. No, but, I mean, listen, you did win it with a good margin there, Darren. What's your background? Are you a professional eater? And when somebody says professional eating, what does that even mean?
That's an excellent question. I am a professional eater, but that's my weekend hustle as of now. I'd like to make it a full-time gig, but full-time I am a teacher.
Can you make money at this?
Oh, yes, money can definitely be made. Right now, I don't make enough for it to be my main source of income, but it's a nice little side hustle because a lot of these contests, they pay out money. And then in addition to that, we usually do other things too to promote our brand. Like me, instance, I have a YouTube channel, Darren Eats. Make sure to check it out. But
wait, what is it again?
Additional income from that. Darren Eats.
Darren Eats. Okay, got
nice,
it.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at that for sure. All right, now we have to ask you the questions that are on everybody's brain, right? What do you do post eating competition? How do you make yourself feel better? Or do you feel just fine, like, hey, I'm ready to go out to dinner or something?
It depends on the amount of food. Honestly, anything less than 10 pounds, I feel fine. Anything over that, I feel a little rough. And I'm not going to lie, there had been some instances where I made a quick exit after the contest, so that's open to interpretation. But
yeah, that is up for interpretation. What were the other questions we wanted to ask him, Jay? What was the first one you asked?
I asked him kind of the same. I'm like, hey, do you puke after a thing? I mean, is that a thing? Because I don't know, and it wasn't on the broadcast. Now it's on the broadcast. And he said, it just depends. Yeah, like anything else, it depends.
It just depends.
Well, I'm curious, though, Darren, you are the oyster-eating champion, too. So there's a big difference, right, between eating oysters, hot dogs,
I don't know how you
burgers.
could do the oysters, though. Oh, man.
How many oysters, Darren?
with the oysters, last year that I did it, I think I ate 44 dozen in 8 minutes.
44
dozen in 8 minutes.
I mean, so folks,
brother.
do you have, that's like close to 500 oysters. That's insane.
That is insane.
Nice work, Darren.
What's the technique to that one, Darren?
Well, oysters, there's not much to it because all you do is scoop it out of the half shell and swallow it whole. That's all there is to it.
Holy.
Once again, rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
Well, and Darren, there's this body movement that you start getting, I noticed, during this last year's, where it's like you're almost throwing it down physically. What's that about?
It gets to that point because this isn't really a picnic. I'm not there to enjoy the food, unfortunately, so I'm trying to get down as many sloppers as humanly possible in that amount of time. And I'll try to use whatever, mechanical cleaning to get it done. And I just find like that, it makes it a little easier to swallow.
Interesting.
All right, I just published a poll on the stream. Have you ever had a slopper? The 3 answers are yes, no, and say what. Here's a great opportunity to turn our attention. So Darren, he's going to be coming into town. Darren Breden, slopper eating champion. He's in Virginia right now, but we'll zoom all the way to Pueblo, Colorado, and that's where we'll meet up right now with Carrie Fetty, owner of Grays Coors Tavern in Pueblo, home of the slopper. How's it going, Carrie?
They have to unmute themselves here.
Okay,
There we go. There
We got
go.
you. So, slopper eating contest, gals, and I believe we have, who do we have with us? Danelle and Darren. Danelle, Darren, and Carrie are here with us. So, from Grays Coors Tavern, first of all, home of the slopper, you probably would like to have a little better presentation when it's being in a contest, but at the end of the day, people really want to go get a slopper, but it's built a little differently, and we're going to take a look at how you build a slopper, too. Hi, ladies. How are you?
good. We're doing great. It's a little loud because Pueblo loves sloppers, so they're eating a lot of them right now.
Great.
Completely full in here, so.
Tell us about Grays Coors Tavern and tell us about the slopper.
Well, the bar actually opened in 1943, and it was actually mostly just railroaders would come in, and it was started off as a distributorship from Adolph Coors. He sent one of his guys down to open a bar or distributorship, and he met with a guy named Johnny Greco, and they opened Coors Tavern. And in 1983, my parents bought the bar. And then in 2018, my brothers and I bought out my cousin Donnie, who was also involved in the bar. And it's just been around for years and years. And in 1950, a guy named Herb Casebeer came in, and at that time, all they had at the bar was burgers and chili, red chili. And he ordered a burger, but he said he wanted it covered in red chili. And he said, at my house, we call that a slopper. And so from there became the birthplace of the slopper, right here in Grays Coors Tavern. Well, then it was Johnny's Coors Tavern, but we've moved it now. It's changed to Grays Coors Tavern since my parents had bought it in, like I said, 1983. So
it's red chili.
And in about 1985, we decided they started serving green chili.
And now there's a few
we
different.
haven't looked back since.
There's a few different versions, Carrie. I'm noticing some of the versions I see have French fry. It's a burger, French fries on top of that, and then green chili and onions over the whole thing. What's the version?
You can get it with. We do all of them. It started out with just the burger and the chili, and then people started asking. When we started selling fries, probably about 10 years, about 5 years ago, people started adding fries to it. People put eggs in it. A lot of people like onions on it. We do it grilled or raw onions. You can put Pueblo chilies over the top of it. And we get our Pueblo chilies from Brian Kreitz. And, there's really no end to the way people are ordering sloppers around here.
Nice.
What do you think about it being featured in an eating competition? Does that help out, or does that kind of diminish the slopper? What are your thoughts?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. What did you ask?
I said, what do you think about the slopper being featured in an eating competition?
it's definitely interesting to see. I mean, I've seen people eat them fast, but never as fast as I saw this gentleman eat it last year. It was quite something. I couldn't look away, but I really wanted to at some point.
So what's the version that they use in the contest itself, Darren? Is it
it's just the bun, the hamburger patty, and the green chili. And I don't think they might have put onions on it, but I don't think they did. I think it was just the bun, the burger, and the green chili smothered.
Okay, tell us the truth, Carrie. Have you tried to see how many you can eat?
No, I haven't personally. Although the most impressive thing I've seen at this bar was a guy who did the incline in Colorado Springs. He came down and he had a 12-patty slopper, and he ate it completely gone. And I thought at that point we probably need a defibrillator at the bar because I was really impressed by that.
We're going to make a slopper.
He did get a free T-shirt.
So who is Don? Because it shows from in the full results that Don from Grays Coors Tavern Lounge ate eight of them.
I don't know. I couldn't hear you again. I'm sorry. It's so loud in here.
Never mind.
No, it was Don. Curious about Don. Is he one of your employees that was in last year's competition?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Donnie was here last. Yeah, he's one of our employees. Unfortunately, he's become ill, and he can no longer work down here, which we're very, very sad about it. But, yeah, he's been around here forever, and we all love Don Maldonado.
Well, I hope it wasn't eating 9 sloppers that did it to him.
No.
Okay, so what we want to do, how are you on time, Darren? Are you okay? Because we're going to make a slopper live. You're good. Okay, so Darren Breden, this is a champion, or a true champion, slopper eating champion, and also oyster. He's got two titles. What other titles have you tried to go after, Darren?
I actually have the title for cheese curds as well, and I also have the title for Oreos and milk.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
Oreos and milk?
Let's have that competition here when you're done. We'll just make them blizzards. And who can drink, get the biggest brain freeze?
How many Oreos and milk were you able to consume?
It was actually a speed contest. So it was a family pack of Oreos and a half gallon of milk. So it's the fastest. And it took me, I think, 2 minutes and 20 seconds, something like that.
Oh, not bad at all.
Hey, Darren, it's Jay here. What kind of preparation goes into the day before or the day of eating contest? Do you eat at all? Do you not eat? How do you get your stomach to stretch? That sort of thing.
But day before, I eat very light, and I make sure 24 hours before the contest takes place, I'm not eating anything. I try to keep the stomach stretched with fluids and whatnot, so drinking gallons of water and keeping it stretched. And the day of, I don't eat anything.
Wow, there is effort that goes into that as well. Some of your competition, who do you learn from? Who do you admire in the business?
Well, honestly, it's important to study tape from a variety of different eaters and getting the best from all of them and picking and choosing little things that they do and then making your own style, really. I watch Joey Chestnut, Jeff Asper, Matt Stoney.
These are all eating champions,
Yeah.
And it's a worldwide thing. So if somebody's out there and like, look, I could eat competitively, how do I find a competition? Is there a blog or a Facebook group for competitive eating, or how would somebody go about even finding out what's up there for competitive eating?
Yes. Me personally, I'm a part of Major League Eating, as you had mentioned before. Major League Eating on their website, majorleagueeating.com, they post the events that they're going to have for that year. And then from there, I'll sign up and register for an event and go to it and hope for the best, really.
Gotcha.
Do you practice ahead of time? Like if it's jalapenos or something, do you practice that food, or do you just go into it like I can eat a lot and here we go?
It depends. Like the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, I will prepare for because that's something that I can really prepare because I just have to go buy some hot dogs and cook it up. But a slopper, well, first I didn't even know what it was, so I had no idea how I would even prepare it. But I think a slopper, just for me with my culinary skill set, would be hard to replicate. So I'm just going in there with a basic capacity training.
All right, here's one for you. What foods would you absolutely not be able to do?
Honestly, I would do anything in competition as long as the kashish is there. But I prefer not eating onions.
Onions, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Well, and Greg,
how about would you eat bugs?
Yeah, sure, why not?
what's
Ain't knock
interesting?
until you try it, right?
There's a whole online betting around. Since COVID, I've been doing some research, and Darren has done events out of his house, competing against other people.
Oh, online?
Online.
Yeah.
I mean, Darren, you're a stud. There's more video of you out there than one could watch in a day. That's right. That's right.
Hey, how about what's your prediction of sloppers that you'll be able to put down this year?
I think I'll definitely be 30 plus for sure.
You have to defend your title, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Now they're bringing.
Joey, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're going to be sloppy second.
Nice.
That's what I want to do. So you're bringing out the guns, and you got to defend your title. But who do you figure you just mentioned him? But who do you figure is your biggest competition this year?
I would say Joey Chestnut and also another gentleman by the name of Jeff Esper.
Okay, here's what I want to do. If we can break off, I want to come back. And I grew up to the Mean Gene Okerlund professional wrestling. Do you remember that? Where they'd get the two wrestlers in the same room and they would talk. I want you to give a direct message to Joey Chestnuts when we get back, okay?
I will do.
Okay, we're going to do that, and then we're also going to watch a slopper be made at Grays Coors Tavern. This is a cool one, and thank you to the Pueblo Chamber of Commerce for turning us on to this one. We're going to be featuring the Pueblo area quite a bit as we travel through town during the Chili Festival. The Slopper Competition is what's happening. What's the date of the Slopper Competition? Because I think people are going to be able to tune in online this year and watch it.
September 26th at 1 p.m.
Sorry, Brian, interrupted you there. What's the date on that?
It's going to be this Saturday, September 5th, and it'll be taking place at 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
Oh, and we can all watch it online?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, we're going to come back with Darren Breden, and we're also going to head in to Grays Coors Tavern's kitchen. And at 2:40, Mark Antonation from Westword Magazine is going to join us as well. Westword just did a piece on the slopper eating competition. You're getting some press, man. It's going to be a good event. You better be coming locked and loaded. You might not want to eat about 48 hours beforehand. You've been drinking your fluids now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's break. Jay, are you ready? All right, we'll come right back. You are about to hear from Rome Sausage, Colorado Mills, and the Spice Guy. That's up next, and then I'll talk about Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solution. We'll resume this show here momentarily, The Modern Eater on from Studio Kitchen, Colorado.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand-mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The modern eater loves Rome Sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Okay, back to the show, and this is a good one. Talking about the slopper eating contest that's going to be happening this weekend. We'll tell you more on how you can watch it and tune in if you like watching that professional eating. In the meantime, and we're also going to make a slopper down there at Grays Coors Tavern with Carrie Fetty. Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. He's the man. If you need that custom install, Brian, he'll get right on down there and do it. The install of your dreams. The best tap system you could ever possibly want.
What if I just need my lines cleaned up?
If you need maintenance, you can do that too. Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions, one of the most trusted men in the business. And he's a local guy, but they fly him all over the country for his expertise. Why?
Well, because he's the best.
He is the best. All you have to do is get a hold of him. But I want to ask you a question. It's a serious question. What are you doing if you're pouring inefficient beer?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Please don't pour your money down the drain. It's a quick phone call away. 720-272-3809.
Ah, man, let me get a pen.
That was too quick?
Yeah.
720-272-3809. It's Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Welcome back. Next segment, Mark Antonation from Westword. A big piece in Westword about the slopper eating contest. Online with us right now is Darren Breden, the slopper eating champ from 2019. He can put away quite a few of them. And Carrie Fetty, owner of Grays Coors Tavern, will be back with us here momentarily. Okay, I commissioned you, Darren, with a direct message to Joey Chestnut, okay? Kind of, WWE style. So what you're going to do is slate your name, who you are, and what you're going to be doing, and just tear it up. Go ahead, Darren.
Hey, my name is Darren Breden, 2019 and 2020 World Slopper Eating Champion. Joey, you might be the king of hot dogs. You might have bested me at that, but there's 3 things that I'm better at than you. 1, eating cheese curds. 2, I'm better looking. And 3, I can eat more sloppers than you. Tell me what you got.
Yeah.
Be there or be square, Saturday, September 5th.
That's perfect, man.
I love it.
All right. We love that one. We're going to cut that one out. We'll even send it to you, too. You can throw it out there on your social media. Again, Darren Breden here with us. Hey, just before we were talking off air before the show, but I thought it was worth mentioning again. There are people all the way around the world that love to watch people eat. What is it with people that have a voyeuristic fetish to watch other people eat? What's the strangest thing that someone's ever reached out to you with a request for?
Well, I've had some folks ask me to take pictures of my belly after an eating contest, and I would definitely have to say that's probably been the strangest inquiry I've had.
Now, you do take a picture of your belly after you eat in a competition, don't you?
Well, money talks.
Okay, man, we'll have to pick that one up a little bit later because people are emailing me right now wanting to see such thing. I've got a poll up on the stream. Have you ever had a slopper? 43% say yes, 29% say no, and say what is 29% too. A slopper, it's an interesting name. All right, let's watch one get created and built. So down to Pueblo, Colorado, and thanks to the Pueblo Chamber of Commerce for connecting us. Carrie Fetty, owner of Grays Coors Tavern, welcome back, and we're going to take a little tour of the kitchen and watch you build a slopper for us.
So Carrie had to step away, so I'm filling in really fast.
Hi, Donnell.
My name's Danielle. Oh, here comes Carrie. I'm with the Greater Pueblo Chamber and the Pueblo Chili Growers Association, so we helped to sponsor the event. And Coors is a huge partner for us when it comes to talking about amazing sloppers. And so Carrie's back. She had a little.
Hello.
We are working here. We're working here, people. We're working. So, but we're going to step in and take a look at a slopper. And Carrie, do you want to walk them through what a slopper looks like? And I'll flip the camera, and here we go.
Doesn't look like they're making one right now.
Oh, no. All right. Well, we're going to start. We're in the kitchen. It's kind of loud. With some premium ground beef.
Yes.
And then what?
And then, well, first you put the bun. The bun starts it on the bottom of the bowl.
When you guys are ready, will you help us make a slopper for the camera? If we got one ready in a minute.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not on time. That's all right. Keep going. They gotta cook the burger. All right, but tell them about the. Okay. All right, here we go.
This is Tony.
Smile, Tony.
What's happening, Tony?
He's smiling.
Single slopper, the open face burger. We got 2 patties, 3 ounces each, 2 slices of American cheese on open face bun, smothered green chili.
And what makes our green chili so special?
Well, I'd have to say it's the roux here.
And Pueblo green chili's in it, not that hatch New Mexico stuff.
We do use hatch because it is.
Hey!
Easy now.
Tony, you want a job?
I know, right? Tony this is his last day. Everybody say goodbye to Tony.
Hey, Tony, we got you.
Okay, and then what happens, Tony, after that?
They get the choice of onions. This one's going to get grilled onions, so it'll be just a moment beforehand. But then we'll throw it out, typically with some oyster crackers. And hopefully enjoy.
Nice. So sometimes they get topped with their French fries, and then other people like myself love just the oyster crackers that go on the side, and they put those on top to give it a little crunch.
All right, show us
So
how.
that's the way, Darren, when you come to Pueblo and you can actually enjoy some food, we'd love to have you at Coors Tavern to actually enjoy a real slopper, right, Carrie?
A real slopper. Come on down and taste one.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do that very same thing. We're going to be down there the 3rd week of September to join you, and we will definitely at the top of our list have a slopper. And I think I'm going to try it with the fries. I'm going to try it with the fries on top. That sounds good.
That's a good call.
Perfect. And then you just throw that on a plate and eat it with a fork then, huh?
It's actually usually served in so see the little bowls up there in a bowl. There you go.
Oh, that looks perfect.
Yep.
All right.
This one is to go.
Thank you, you guys. We will see you soon. And again, give a plug for Grays Coors Tavern, the 30-second elevator speech of why folks should come and see you.
That's right, and don't forget to buy Pueblo chili often and a lot.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, guys. We're going to jump back to Darren here for a second and wrap this baby up. Darren, you saw it.
Right.
That's kind of in the form of how you would eat it regularly and not in competition. It looks good, doesn't it?
Oh, it looks absolutely delicious. And actually, the contest ones look similar because it's an open-faced cheeseburger like that with the chili sauce on top. I would love to eat it in a civilian capacity. The ones I had at the contest, they were delicious. I just don't want to eat 30 of them.
Give us an idea of what you eat on a daily basis.
Daily basis, unfortunately, it's nothing too glamorous. I just eat regular portions, and I'll eat anything, really. Just not in absurd portions.
How did you find out that you had this talent to be able to eat a large quantity of food?
Well, about 5 years ago when I was living in Japan teaching English over there, I went to a restaurant that had a main versus food style challenge. I think it was like 5 pounds of curry rice. I had to eat that in 30 minutes or something like that to get the meal free. And I ended up eating it in 6 minutes. And I was like, hey, this is cool, free food and you get some notoriety for it. Sign me up, so.
Man, this is like I could hang out with this guy.
I know. Well, he's just a nice, regular guy.
Totally.
I love it.
Like your fan favorite, right? I mean, I think you're going to defend your title. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Well, it's sort of East versus West. Mm-hmm. Because Joey's a California kid. And, I like to see it, though. Darren's going to kick it in.
Now, it's counterintuitive thought process to think that a big guy would be, a heavy set guy would be able to eat more food. Is that true, or what's the thought behind that?
There is truth to it. Reason being, a larger individual, their stomach's not able to stretch as much because their abdominal cavity is full of fat tissue, so it only stretches out to the fat, whereas if you're trimmer and don't have as much fat, your stomach can keep expanding.
Have you gained any weight by competitive eating, or do you just have that metabolism to where you stay the same?
No, I haven't gained any weight from competitive eating, and any weight gain that I do have is usually intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And
hey, I got an idea, man. Do this competition; it'll set you apart from do the competition with your shirt off.
Like it.
And then write. Do you have sponsors?
Or just like a half shirt, even.
Dude, can we get you? Can we get you to write the Modern Eater on your chest?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm serious about this.
You can do that. I can write on my chest.
Yeah. All right. But will you eat with your shirt off? I'm telling you.
They allow for me, because I've tried that before at one contest, but they told me to put my shirt back on.
Oh, really?
I wonder why.
Hey, do you have that little Buddha belly? You know how some people
that costs
eat,
money
and then they make that big Buddha belly. Have you ever seen that? Some of those eaters.
You can do it.
Yes,
right
actually,
now.
it's funny because right after a contest, I'll look 9 months pregnant, except my baby is 30 sloppers.
Now, I know you charge for this, right? But stand up, pull your shirt up, and push your belly out.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Do you got it?
I mean, there's... Because I don't...
Ooh, he's getting the side angle.
Push that gut. Push
Look
it
at
out.
that. Can you push it out?
Let's see. That's all you can push it out?
Wow.
I can push it. It requires food to push it out.
That is amazing that he's so skinny and he
Yeah.
can eat so much.
I know. So with COVID, man, is there any difference between this year and last year as far as procedures go? And, because there's going to be slopper going everywhere, isn't there?
I think they were telling me we're going to be socially distanced, because usually they'll cram a bunch of us on stage, as you saw from last year's footage. But I think they're going to, socially distance us 6 feet apart. They might have a barricade, because I know at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest they had a little plexiglass chamber that we had to eat in, which was interesting. And I think there's going to be no crowd. I'm not 100% sure, but
Well, they are streaming it live. We probably should have asked Danielle this, of how they're going to get it out there. I think they're streaming it live for sure. Do you know the details of how people can tune in?
I'm not 100% sure. I heard that it was going to be a live stream. But even if it's not a live stream, I'll film it myself for my YouTube channel. If you want to check it out.
If it's not, and you have that, we will disseminate the content live during that. If you want to link up, do you have so you have a YouTube channel, right, and not a Facebook page?
I have a personal Facebook page, but I do have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, because we can restream to your YouTube too. Let me know if you're going to put a camera up there, because we can definitely push that out to bit. But I'll bet you they're going to push it out there.
It says
too.
it's on the Colorado State Fair website.
Colorado
It'll be
State
streaming
Fair?
live.
That makes sense.
On the Colorado State Fair website.
That makes sense. So when are you leaving to get into town here?
Actually, the day of the contest, so.
The day of, which is Saturday, huh? Okay.
Will you fly in and fly out, Darren, or will you be in town for any amount of
I'll
time?
be flying out Sunday morning.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you got one night to just lay in misery in your bed. Are they putting you up at a nice place?
Actually, I have not found a place yet, so I need to get on that.
You better get on that, man. And then what's the prize if you win?
It's $2,000, and of course, the title of Slopper Eating Champion and notoriety.
Yeah, you want that. Do you have any other titles in your sights?
Well, at some point, the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Champ.
Are you going to go after that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? You just seem like a really fun, nice guy, and I want you to win everything that you do. I just want you to win in life, man. Fantastic. And listen, I was being a little bit funny, but I would love it if you did put the Modern Eater on you somehow. Maybe like a forehead tat
Oh, yeah.
or a neck one?
Okay.
How about
I
the
got a nice little stamp.
Yeah, let's not go small.
Man, I think you're doing good things, and if you can somehow bring some awareness to a cause through your demeanor and what you do, are there any causes that you follow?
Not right now, but I've done fundraisers in the past for student scholarships.
That's fantastic.
I bet, and you're a teacher, you said. I bet all your kids watch you and cheer
Love
you on,
you,
don't
yeah.
they?
It depends. Some students really dig it, and some other students, it doesn't have to do with Fortnite, so you're irrelevant.
Oh my God, that's great, man. This is Darren Breeden. He's a good guy. He's the Slopper champion. He's coming to defend his title to Pueblo, Colorado, and off the Colorado State Fair website. Is that right, Brian?
Yep.
You'll be able to
Colorado
watch it
State
stream
Fair
live
website.
this Saturday. At what time? What time's go time?
It is 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
Okay. I'm assuming you don't have dinner reservations anywhere.
No, sir.
Okay, brother. It was so much fun catching up to you. Best of luck, and just continue doing what you're doing, and I'm glad you're having a good time. It's good to see it.
A pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good luck.
you
Good
bet.
luck.
Darren, that was Darren Breeden, Slopper eating champion. You know what? That's an interesting thing, professional eating, Brian. I never really understood it, but I do think it's something that if you sit down, start watching it, you can't take your eyes away from it.
When I was doing a little background work for this today, it's addicting. I was looking at all of his videos, and I'm watching and seeing, because he's done ramen contest. He just over and over. It's how much can I throw
Let's
down?
show a little bit more of this video from last year. Look at how these guys are eating. I mean, oh, jeez. See, now, me personally, I'm one of those people that has a really weak stomach, and it's just watching stuff, too, looking at it. But right now, just these heaves and these I don't think I could have made it through this. And especially if somebody else's stuff would touch my hand or get on me in any way, I would lose it. And then what do they do if somebody does lose their cookies on stage there? There'd have to be a domino
well, it's
effect
like almost
to
like
that.
a reset. Well, but what if someone barfs all over someone else's food?
Yeah.
It's just
This contest ends
Well,
at that
I mean,
point
you
in
know,
time,
I
right?
mean, I'm sure, things like that happen, but also, I mean, at least the video you're showing, like all those people, that's not their first time.
I'll bet you
doing
that's
this,
Don
know?
from Coors
Yeah.
Tavern right there. So these people will be back at it. Standing by, we're going to break away real quick. We'll come back. He's the man. His name's Mark Antonation from Westword, and we need to check in and just talk about some openings and some closing and what we're seeing as far as movement here in Colorado with the restaurants. It's an interesting time that we're living in, and we'll take a break. You're going to hear from some great local sponsors, Hot Schedules and Iron Mills, and when we get back, you'll also hear Jay talk about Aspen Baking. Be right back with Mark Antonation on the Modern Eater Show.
Hi guys, it's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Ford. With all of the recent COVID rules and regulations, you may feel like you have way too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, fortunately, Ford is the leading hospitality provider and partner when it comes to onboarding, HR, payroll, tax, and compliance needs. So that way you can keep all of those cooks in the kitchen and let us manage all of your administrative needs. That way you can focus back on your business and your growth plans. Give me a call for an analysis on how we can put that ROI back into your business and take those administrative burdens off your hands. Because nobody likes handling taxes. That's Rebecca.berry@forth.com, Rebecca.berry@forth.com. And hey, you know what's cool, guys? Keeping your mask on so that way we can keep our doors open.
Hey, Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with The Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I'll make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here, and I'd like to tell you about our brand new Abbey 4-pack, featuring the 4 main products of Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So there's the single, the double, the triple, and the quadruple. And let's talk about singles today. Singles or ankles are traditionally monks beers served at meal times and during the day. They're low in alcohol, 3 to 5.5%, and they're often second runnings from stronger beers like triples or quadruples. This one is 3.8% ABV, and it's made from the second runnings from our triple. So what they're known for is lightness and drinkability. They're biscuity flavor with distinct hoppiness, and they're very refreshing. Great summer beers, available at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the metro area. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack today and take home some Belgian-style badassery.
Back to the show in just a second, but before that, it's everybody's favorite time, just like mine, which is time for bread. AspenBaking.com has been baking the most delicious and fresh bread in the Colorado, Denver area since 1994. AspenBaking.com is where you go to get hoagies, croissants, bear claws, lobster rolls, batards, just a sourdough bowl to put some delicious clam chowder in. If you want to order direct, you can do that. If you want to order online, you can do that. If you want to order with Amazon Fresh, you can do that too. AspenBaking.com is where you do all that. You hashtag how's your Aspen, and then you eat the most delicious bread on planet Earth, basically. Now back to the show.
All right, it is a Thursday, September 3rd, as we're barreling through this week. And I'll tell you what, just the change of temperature has been really, really nice. And seeing the skies clear up a little bit, too, but it just seems like a whole different week. Happy to do it and happy to have this gentleman join us on the show right now. He's from Westword Magazine. He's the food editor, and his name's Mark Antonation. It's good to see you, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just want to make sure you can hear me. This technology is still crazy for me.
It's actually perfect. You got a great map behind you, too. Do you put a pin where your world travels take you?
It's my plan for global food domination. So
just point somewhere on that map to your favorite region in the world food-wise.
Oh gosh, right now it's probably, let's see. I'm going over here, Southeast Asia, but it's also good.
I was wondering if that, and then I don't know, somewhere around India is where I'm hanging out right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm with Mark. I like
really?
that.
Pacific Rim?
I really do. It's just the people, the food. I could eat rice a lot. I mean, now listen, you take me south of the border, that's another thing.
I know.
But
there's so many great regions in the world of food. I don't know, Mark, were you tuned in? Did you see Darren Breden, the slopper eating champion?
I did. And we interviewed him, too, for a story, one of my writers at Westword. And, I love a good Pueblo slopper. I don't think I could eat more than one, much less 8, 30.
I was going to ask you, competitive eating, boy, that takes a special type of person. I like to enjoy my food, but I have been known to, what do you call it, roadhouse something, just to scarf it right down. But you think you could do competitive eating, Mark?
Probably not. I don't like having food on my face, so I like to. It goes from the plate to my mouth.
You wouldn't be a very good contestant then. I put a poll on the stream today. Have you ever had a slopper? Yes, 62%. No, 23%. And say what is 15%. But it surprises me. Slopper's fairly well known.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it's that high too. So I'm shout out to your listeners. because that's it seems like it was a Pueblo thing for so long, and now it's spreading.
No doubt. We're going to actually make a trip into Pueblo this year. We're doing a second road trip, Mark. It's the fall road trip, and we're coming up on a fall dinner series as well. It'll be 5 days in a row with the same ingredients, 5 different chefs with their take on those ingredients, making different menus with the same ingredients. And kind of the star of this one's Alex Seidel, and Rebecca Wiseman will join us, and we'll have Kyle Mendenhall. We're assembling quite a cast and crew for the fall dinner series. So I'd love for you to join us for one of those. But here we are into the fall and the strangest time of year with openings and closing, and we're seeing a lot of movement on the outskirts of town as far as openings, and a lot of closing in the more dense populated areas or the high rent districts is what I would say. First of all, give us your overall view, since you're keeping up on the openings and closings, is where you see that most movement as far as openings and closings.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised to see the number of new restaurants opening up mostly the outskirts, like you're saying, and then also kind of infilling some places that have been vacant for a year or two or more even. So that's good to see. And maybe it's a sign that there's some like real estate deals or lease deals to be had out there. But it's still, I think, it's rough for the people who are open right now, especially if they don't have a lot of outdoor seating, and I'm hoping for the best for them.
Absolutely. As far as first of all, how do you get the information on openings and closings? I know your ears to the ground all the time, and folks can email you. I don't know why somebody would want to be so anxious to tell you that they're closing, but hey, maybe it happens. How do you hear about the closings?
Closings are a lot more difficult to find out about, and that's usually why sometimes our lists are a little shorter on any given week or month, but eventually either readers will send us a note, or sometimes the restaurant owners or chefs want to talk about it. I know it's like a lot of people said, it's like losing a family member when they have to close a restaurant because they put so much hard work into it. So I understand if people are a little bit reluctant to talk about it, but we try to keep track of it to let Denver know what's happening, not to sensationalize anybody's misfortune, or sometimes people just retire too. The owners of the Gallop Cafe decided to sell their restaurant at 32nd and was that Zunai, and I think the new owners are gonna reopen something fairly similar. So those people that have run the cafe have been doing it for a long time, but hopefully the cafe will still be there for the neighborhood.
Mark, it's interesting. This is Brian, and good afternoon. Thanks for being on the show. Did you look at the geographical sort of spread on your closings? I thought it was interesting when I looked at that. Did you notice anything about that?
I'm not sure I noticed anything too specific this time around. What were you saying?
It was interesting because it was almost like 80% of all the closings were downtown. That I noticed.
Yeah. It's probably a combination of like you said, real estate is more expensive in central Denver, and then it's also easier to spot places when they close than in the outlying areas. Sometimes we just never really hear about them or find out about them, despite trying to keep a pretty close eye on things.
I'm wondering if I have the most current open and closings. I think I do. Let's see the date on this. The 29th of August. Is that the most current?
Yeah, that's the one that just came out.
Okay, so let's do. I mean, I love to see the openings, and you kind of have this really ground level view on these things. What's the theme of folks that are doing the openings? Have they been in the works for over a year and they're just following through, or are people really looking at opportunity right now and opening up some places? It's a little confusing to me.
I think there's some of both. For example, the Fifth String just opened on Tejon, 32nd and 33rd and Tejon, and Amos Watts, the chef and owner there. It was something he had worked at Old Major previously as their executive chef. He knew Justin Brunson, the owner of Old Major, pretty well. And so when Justin decided to close Old Major, Amos thought it was a great opportunity for him to start up. So that was, I think, one that kind of came up more on short notice. And then also there's one called Et Cetera Eatery that opened up on South Pearl Street, where the owner saw an opening and thought it was a great location. That kind of old South Pearl area is really good for restaurants. So he thought he'd give it a go there. But yeah, other places, they're in the works for a year or two, and they're going to go ahead with it because they've already committed so much time and effort into it.
Mm-hmm. Talking about hot areas now. Let's just go. How do we do this? So we'll just name some areas, and Mark, let's play a little game of like hot or not, right? We can do that. Rhino, is Rhino still hot or not?
Oh God, I think yeah. I mean, and there's so much room for growth because obviously the pandemic has kind of put a halt on that a little bit, but towards the north end up by 38th, there's a lot of new office buildings going in, like where the pedestrian bridge is over the railroad tracks. So you're seeing, there are retail spots opening up there. I think there's a place called Slater's 50/50 that's a burger chain out of California that just opened up there. So it might be a little slow now, but in a year, that whole area is going to be like closer to the ballpark.
What about that 17th Avenue? That's had a lot of,
Hot or not?
It's such a cool neighborhood, and with all the old houses and the with all the old houses and architecture and stuff, it does seem like restaurants have a tricky time catching on there. But the ones that do, Steuben's, Ace, Beast and Bottle, and then like Marchick's. Fine foods.
So that would be uptown, right? Like where D-Bar is, Las Delicias, the 17th Avenue.
Yeah,
so
well,
uptown.
it's an interesting stretch because remember El Posto used to be down there.
I'm going to call it uptown.
And then when he moved out, it seemed like there was a Vine Street and pub. I'm not sure if that's
How about
still
South
down there?
Broadway? Yeah. Hot or not?
Yeah, I think that's still hot, and especially like the further south you go.
Really? Like the Post?
Now is like the main area where, I guess they call that the Baker neighborhood around First and Broadway.
Gotcha.
It seems pretty full at the moment. But yeah, you go further south and there's a new donut shop where the Winchell's was called Wake and Bake that's really awesome and pretty inexpensive. And then, especially you head down to Old Town Englewood on South Broadway, near Hampton, and there's a lot of fun stuff there.
How about Cherry Creek, hot or not?
Oh, I think for the right restaurant, the right crowd, it's hot. There's new things opening up there, a lot of hotel restaurants, a lot of places coming in, nationally. I guess Richard Sandoval has Toro there now, so big name, something that people are more familiar with.
Yeah, for sure.
How
about Highlands?
I was just going to ask Highlands.
Highlands, hot or not?
It depends on which stretch. Like the West Highlands over by like 32nd and Lowell. You don't really see a lot of new places opening up there, but the places that are there are great. There's a Sarah's Ramen Enclave I've always liked. Although there's a new Bow Tie just opened up there in the last couple of weeks. If you like Thai food.
How about Boulder?
That family has two other restaurants, one in Evergreen and one in Castle Rock. So this is their first one in central Denver.
Yeah, and they're awesome, by the way. I've eaten at Bow Tie up in Evergreen many, many times, and super nice family, good, authentic food.
How about Boulder, Lafayette?
Oh, if I could move somewhere, I'd probably move to Lafayette, Louisville, that area, because it's just so fun to see that these little towns and like Erie, Niwot, where they've got these little downtowns with so much great food.
I agree with all of that.
Yeah, I saw one just open there called Birdhouse. That's the same owners as Community in Lafayette, and looks like they're doing ramen and tacos. So it's kind of sure thing menu almost, but I haven't tried it yet. But hopefully they're doing a good job at both.
I've got one for him here.
Okay,
one second.
Hold on. I have to point this out as a good advocate for all restaurants. Have you noticed?
He hasn't said one not hot area. Yeah.
Which is fine, but I'm going to get him.
Well, here I've got a question that I'm going to have to get him to commit to here. What would you say would be the hottest suburb?
He's going to say Aurora. Don't you follow him?
No, but
Havana.
I love Aurora. Yeah, especially Havana Street that runs north south, kind of on the edge of Aurora and Denver.
But Federal might think you're cheating on her.
Those are my two favorite streets for food in the whole metro area.
Well, and where I was going is like Arvada.
Well, maybe
has
we should
got a real new scene.
How about Colfax?
Absolutely. Well, Arvada, West Colfax is kind of, has been on the upswing in Lakewood. Although, everyone's favorite restaurant in Denver, Casa Bonita, is still closed.
You wrote a piece about it. I actually have. Maybe you can give us a preview of this piece. Everybody should go read it, because when you put down Casa Bonita, everybody's ears perk up, right? Because the notoriety is there. But here it is. What's the headline? The headline is, will Casa Bonita ever reopen? And then I thought there was another one that said something about, is it a COVID casualty? Talk about Casa Bonita for a minute, if you would.
Well, it's just, it's been here forever. Anybody who grew up in Denver went there for birthday parties, family gatherings when they were kids. And then you grow up and you go back and it's like this theme park for, just a fun time. I don't think most people go there for the food. But the cliff divers and the gorillas and the grottos and the margaritas and sopapillas, it's just one of those things.
It's for kids.
I have an admission though.
Uh-oh.
And this is the first time I've ever said this publicly. I have never been.
because it's not known for its culinary.
It's just one of those things. Because I moved to Denver when I was 16, so I think I was a little too old to miss, the younger side of it. And then I was in college, so never made it over there. And then it just never happened. So all my friends who, love the place and have been there dozens of times are like, oh, we got to take you there one of these days. And then, so it probably would have happened this summer, except that they're not open.
Hey, Mark, you just made you've made me feel comfortable. I'm a 48-year Denver native, and I've never been to Casa Bonita.
Both of you haven't.
Well, see, you were born here, so I think
trifecta.
somehow fate just never brought you there.
If they reopen, Mark, can we go out on a date to Casa Bonita?
Absolutely.
You guys, it's funny because I've been there a few times and I have kids.
You have kids,
and, yeah. And but someone took me there because when I first came into the state back in the early '90s, people were like, "Oh, you have to go to this place."
Was it everything you ever wanted it to be?
Of course not. But it's one of those places that you can't say anything bad about because it's just so, it's so warm and fuzzy. You go in there and the people are nice and they're trying to, even though you feel like you're being herded because the way you got to start the whole thing is it's a buffet kind of
Hey, Mark,
line.
Do you ever remember a place called the Yum Yum Tree?
Oh, yeah. I think that was open right when I moved here or had closed previously. Because my family used to visit Denver occasionally, even before we moved here. And so I do remember the place. I was pretty young, though.
Yeah.
I got one for you, Mark. What is a place that's closed that you miss or even changed ownerships, like Pasta J's, or not Pasta J's, but J's down on South Broadway, Jay's Noodle or something, changed ownerships. It was never the same. Do you have any places like that you miss?
Oh, all of them. God, that's such a hard question. Yeah, so, well, you said Jay's, and I was thinking at first of JJ Chinese Seafood on Alameda that closed a few years ago. That was, one of the best Chinese restaurants in Denver, and they stayed open a little late, so if you went, towards the end of the night, like at 11 o'clock, you'd probably see somebody you knew, like a chef from another restaurant or something. So that one I do miss. And it's now a hot pot place that I've been to that's pretty good. But it, not quite the same.
I love this and taking time for us today, Mark Antonation, Westword. We don't get a chance often to catch up, so sorry if we're taking this a little too long, but just really love your take on food in Denver all together, and Colorado, basically. But I want to do a little something called Deep Dive with Mark Antonation. Give us something that's like you haven't eaten there. I know you haven't. Don't even lie, but Mark Antonation has. What's that deep dive?
So someplace I haven't eaten?
No, someplace that you've eaten, but we haven't.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so, and I'm not even sure if they're open right now, but there's a little restaurant in Aurora. It's on the second floor of an office building. It's called Mana Korean Restaurant, and it has 3 tables in it. It looks like it was maybe at one time the cafeteria for the office building. The most amazing Korean soups I've ever had, and using ingredients that I had to look up because I had no idea what I was eating. So just, very traditional Korean stone bowl soups and noodles and things. And yeah, you look on Yelp and they've got 1 review, and they've been around for several years.
Mana, M-A-N-A?
M-A-N-N-A. Although I think the translation from the Korean alphabet is tricky with that one because I've seen it spelled a couple different ways, but I think it pops up as Mana if you Google it.
So you have so many places that you probably should go and see. What makes you go into a corner office in a second floor of a place? What brings you to a place like that?
Usually, something like that. I think somebody else told me about it, and then it took me another year to remember to get over there. But yeah, just the idea that there's something interesting that there's such a great Korean community in Aurora that's been growing for a number of years, and finding food that is traditional for them and that I've never tried before. It just gives me a glimpse into the way people eat, outside of my personal culture and community.
I've got a question
one?
for you.
Jay's got one.
We're on the Korean thing, and I live out in Aurora, and I see a ton of Korean restaurants and love them. What's your take on cooking your own food at the table with the Korean barbecue thing? And you have the hood, and I guess it's cool, and I've only done it once, but when I did it, halfway through, I'm like, I don't want to cook the food anymore. Like, I'd rather it just come out cooked.
The novelty wore off?
Yeah, the novelty wore for me, and maybe it's just because I've been in the restaurant business so long that it wore off real fast. And
it's like bagging your own groceries to you?
Well, but even worse than that, though, because it's, and I don't know. And I'm not trying to make light of it or make a joke or anything, but serious, like halfway through, I'm like, I'd rather not cook the rest of this stuff. I'd rather just eat dinner.
I think that was more of
I think any restaurant like that where some of the preparation is up to you, it takes, you got to go a few times to kind of get the hang of it. One of the places that I really like, it's a Korean pub on Havana called Thanksul Pocha, and I ordered a chicken dish with rice. It comes with rice balls. And you just get a bowl of rice and a pair of food service gloves, and you get to make your own rice balls. But it's got all this stuff, mixed in with it, like seaweed and sesame oil, and they're really tasty. And then you can dunk them in the sauce the chicken comes with, and pretty good stuff.
So the Korean restaurant folks are super geniuses, and they're getting us to do some of the prep. I
think they think of more of
it's a cultural thing, guys. I think because when I was over in China, we had several meals at a place where they started off with the broth, and they walk you out a big bowl of broth, put it right in the center of the plate or in the center of a table that's got heat, and then you throw stuff. You take your broth, you throw different things. It's got like a lazy Susan, and you're adding stuff. Isn't that more of a Eastern thing, Mark?
Well, I think it's a kind of, I think it's maybe a bar food kind of thing where it's an experience that you go with your friends and you're all drinking and having beers or other Korean beverages.
Sake.
And it's just kind of dive in and have fun. So it's probably not like what you would have if you went to somebody's house in Korea. But it's definitely it's a full on entertainment, going out experience.
Well, they better be up on their insurance, because if you did like 9 sake bombs and then decided to grill your forearm, along with the pork,
boil,
I'd just be queued up. Somebody in a suit turns the corner and it's like, well, fill this out,
Absolutely, Mark. Your writing style. The other day we were having a conversation about former writers here in town. What's the name of the one guy who nobody even knew what he looked like, but he'd go in and just hammer places?
Oh, Sheehan. Was that Mike Sheehan? I think that was that.
I can't. What was his
Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was brutal.
One of the best writers I've read, in Denver.
That's what but it wasn't. I mean, you don't ever speak illy. I don't know. I don't think you do, but you generally write very positive about each and every place, or you just don't write about it at all. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, I guess the difference between me and Jason is that he was a restaurant critic and I'm not. I'm, a food writer, journalist, and he's a journalist too, but his job was restaurant critic. So for the longest time, it was his goal to remain anonymous and to give an evaluation of his dining experience, which can sometimes be negative. My job is more, certainly with new restaurants is I'm calling out that there's a new restaurant and what kind of food they are, what, their service goals are like. So I can't really do anything negative in that light, because that would be pretty unfair for me to walk into a restaurant that's not even open yet and write something negative about them. But I also, I'm also in the business of exploring restaurants and finding things that that people may not have had before, or is new to the Denver area, that kind of thing. So it's more about, I mean, if it looks positive, it's because I'm trying to shine the light on what's out there, rather than calling attention to, specific service problems, or, were the chicken wings dry that day or whatever.
Do you think critics are dying? Do you think critics are still, I mean, because now Yelp has got, we've got 5 million critics on Yelp every day. Do you think, yeah.
I think there's definitely still a role for that. It's tough right now during COVID because it's like, this is just survival time for restaurants, and I wouldn't want that job right now. But in general, I think, it's great. If you're going to go out and spend $200 on a meal, and you've never been there before, you can trust strangers on Yelp to tell you, that their napkin wasn't folded right, or you can turn to, whoever, say, Pete Wells of the New York Times, who knows the city, knows food, and has taken the time in his career to understand food and cooking and service. And those are the people that, you trust. I think it's harder these days because, the journalism industry as a whole, it's tough to make a living. People tend to not pay attention to who's writing things. They just want to see a headline and a picture and then move on.
Yeah. A top 10 or the best patios or places to eat or number one margarita type of thing is really what people. I don't know, Mark. You go out a lot and you know a lot of. You certainly you have an opinion, and I would read it on a critic sense. But give me an idea of what you. So no names, no play. Just an idea of something that you would have your last beef at a restaurant. Like, this is what you experienced, and give us an idea of what it was.
I'm sorry, but that's
I think that we've ran them over time. I don't think I can run them through a break.
It's a short one. That's just such a great teaser. That's such a good teaser for the next one.
Can you hang around for a second, Mark?
Sure, yeah, no problem.
Be back in 60 seconds with that question. All right, Mark Antonation continues on The Modern Eater.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new brew distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers. Nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope and Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10, and then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distant seating is available. And you can always check for more information at scastreet.com, and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Hi guys, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in fresh, preservative-free, amazing bread. But with all the food news, go right here to the Modern Eater.
Okay, welcome back. It's a Thursday, September 3rd. Big day tomorrow. We're going to be down at Logan Street and Carboy out on their patio. Snap, call him Snap, is Snupnowski, as I believe is his name. he was on the 9 News piece talking about survival into the next quarter and how patios are so crucial for the existence for a lot of restaurants. I tend to agree. At least outdoor accommodations have been very helpful with those variances. We continue on with Mark Antonation from Westword. And Mark, when I left off with a terrible question, but I think it's a good one because I trust your opinion on not only food, but front of the house, back of the house, everything, even the bar program as well. You must have, all experiences can't be good experiences, but if you were a critic without naming names, can you just give us a scenario of like your last bad dining experience and what was involved with it?
Oh, I probably have to go back pretty far to remember a bad dining experience.
Like you were furious, like walk out of a movie theater type of thing.
The single worst dining experience I have was at it was a Moroccan restaurant that's no longer in business on Colorado Boulevard. And I ordered, waited for about 45 minutes. And finally I couldn't, there was just nobody around to talk to. So I walked back, poked my head in the kitchen, reminded them that I was there. Guy comes back, puts down the food, and it wasn't what I ordered. So I pointed it out, and he said, "Oh, just eat it. You'll like it," and walked off again.
Oh, did you like it?
It was good, yeah.
But
yeah.
it's not what you ordered. That's ballsy. That is really So you have good patience, though, right? I mean, obviously.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, not just in restaurants. I think for me, I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. Because you never know when you're the one who's had a bad day and somebody's going to be relying on you for something, and you just gotta power through. And so many of these people, especially right now, I think just kindness towards your servers and bartenders and cooks is the way to go.
Yes, it is. What are you more tolerant with? Food or service?
Yeah, little of both.
Little both.
How's that for a bad answer?
Yeah. Have you ever walked out of a place because you weren't nobody came by and offer you a water or a menu, or like where's your tolerance level to when you just skip out of there?
Yeah, it's happened occasionally. I remember walking into a burger place once, and the smell of the like kind of bad fryer oil, just hit me right off the bat, and I just turned around and walked out. Or sometimes I'll just look at a menu and nothing's appealing to me, so I'll leave.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
To do.
But and I think what Mark said earlier.
Well,
too.
you remember our last experience? It was in Salida, Colorado. Tell us what you would have done with this, Mark. We're in Salida, Colorado. We were out on a patio in the middle of the street, right? So dining in the street. We got server was pleasant enough. I thought
she was very nice.
She was great.
Very nice. Yeah.
The ambiance was okay. Was what it was. But we got cold queso, lobster queso. Brian didn't like that one bit. And then what else did we order? It prevented you from wanting to even eat there further at that point in time. And then the table that was just adjacent to us ordered the same lobster queso. Theirs was also cold. They sent theirs back as well. And when they both came out, they came out together. We could have gotten theirs. They could have gotten ours, man. And I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Well, you're just guessing at that.
No. Listen, there was no. It was not.
That's like a situation where you hope you get there, so you have more to bitch about.
We were talking with the table next to us because they said the same thing. They were like, "Do you know? Did we get yours? Did you get ours?"
So
but that wasn't.
That didn't want to make you eat anymore.
I go back to the bowl of grease. Yeah. That we got at the last place. We were at Keystone.
Mark, here's my last one for you. What are you working on, Mark? Westword over there as well. And, actually, one more before one more. Broadway market. What's your take on Broadway market right now?
Oh, I think they kind of had a tough time reopening just because, the rules are really strict right now for big places like that can't seat very many people in it. But the food's amazing, especially like those tacos are some of the best around.
Well,
you don't see.
Out of respect, they should just name it Silva's, shouldn't they, instead of Broadway Market?
I think so. Yeah. But like, how often do you see actual spit of al pastor? That they're cooking for your tacos. Most of the time, it's frozen or cooked ahead of time or something.
Well, I'm curious. So, what's your take on the next? There's another. This is, to me, it's a little ballsy.
Ask him.
There's Colorado Boulevard is going to have a new food hall. You know about?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, and there's a big chef in there. I mean, you don't know about Grange Hall.
Where is it?
It's where Big Wave is going to be. Troy's new place. It's right at, where's that? South Colorado Boulevard, and it's not South Colorado.
Like I-25.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Evans, Colorado.
David.
There's a light rail stop there, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be hard? I mean, do you think it's opening another food hall right now?
I think it's going to be hard because I don't know what commuter traffic is like right now. That might be a big part of their business. If they can hang on through the winter and come out in the spring, then maybe things will be better then. So, but I wish them luck. It's tough.
That is tough. What's Westword working on? What do you got planned for us, and what do you anticipate to see needing support for coming into this fourth quarter and into the new year?
Well, I think, we're going to have to figure out how to transition from everyone eating outside to safe indoor dining and takeout food. Figuring out how to make everything that's on a restaurant's menu good for takeout. Because people are going to rely on that more, I think, in the winter months. And it's probably harder to make money that way.
Do you feel fine eating indoors? I feel fine eating indoors.
I really have not done much indoor dining so far. Most of my restaurant experiences over the past 2-3 months have been outdoors. So I'm a little cautious, but I don't want to dissuade anybody else because restaurants are in the business of keeping you safe. That's, they've been doing that. That's their livelihood is serving food safely. And they're trying to do that now under the rules they've got. And I think so far, I haven't heard of incidents of, big customer outbreaks of COVID, compared to other types of businesses.
Well, you're a leader, man. I encourage you. Eat inside a little bit more. People need to see inside. Follow the leaders, right? Tomorrow we'll be at Logan Street. Have you eaten there yet?
I have. Yeah, it's awesome. I love what they did with that space. Kind of joining everything all on that block together, and with the wine bar and the food, it's a good deal.
I'll tell you, they're one smart group. The Angelos and Ivy Street and Logan Street and Carboy, those are some really, really innovative, smart people, and you can tell why in the face of COVID right now that they actually have some traction. And
Mark, quick round.
What?
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Okay.
You like beer.
Sake? Yeah.
Or beer?
I like sake in the right circumstances. I'll drink it. But mostly I'm still a beer guy.
Chinese or Mexican?
Yes.
Look at
good
him.
answer.
Look at
Dude,
him.
you spent some time with us. Thanks for the half an hour out of your life that you'll never get back. But we always appreciate your time, and say hello to Amy for us. And I'm glad you guys are doing well. Stay safe.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you bet. There he is. He's always a crowd pleaser, Mark Antonation. Just a hell of a nice guy.
Smile on his face. So we did give him something. A little bit of a smile sometimes.
But I love his positivity at all times. Mark is one of those guys, at least in my estimation, if he doesn't have something good to say or to promote somebody in a positive way, He just doesn't do it at all. So,
and that's a class act,
yeah,
man.
and I know that it's probably very difficult for Mark when he does see those restaurant closings, because just like anything else, everybody's a family and friends and just a community of people together. We want to see everybody thrive. So some situations will go away, other situations will be born, but wish the best to everybody, right? Big things for us. We need to get to work. FallDinnerSeries.com.
FallDinnerSeries.com.
Is it up?
Not yet.
Okay.
Wait for it. I'm trying launch date tomorrow, Friday. Faith will be back here in studio. I've got to get the menterials materials done. We have so much going on, but you can look forward to this. Scott Hibernath, Rebecca Weissman, Kyle Mendenhall, Alex Seidel. These are all heavy hitters, and we've got one more spot we're trying to shore up today. But tomorrow we should have all 5 of those chefs ready for a great week of culinary fare at stepping off at Logan Street.
Well, and I want to give people a little tease of what's going to go on next week real quick, Greg, if you don't mind.
You bet, man.
You know, because we're taking the Modern Eater
road.
on the road. You know, we have
we need to go see.
Yeah.
We need to go see.
We need
for
to
ourselves.
see what's going on
Southwest
in other
Florida.
places.
And I love the agriculture and the culinary in Southwest Florida. I actually invited you to a group there. Did you see it, a Facebook group, Where to Eat in 239?
Oh, I didn't see that. I
you
will
didn't?
jump on that.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to head out on the road, and we're going to do it beach style. But with Colorado in us, you got to know where you go. And we will be responsibly heading out and traveling into the lovely state of Florida to have our take on what the culinary and agriculture scene is like. So that's all next week. Jay's afraid to fly, so he won't be going.
Yeah.
If it was like Colorado Springs, would you be going? I mean, 9 days?
Yeah, if I could, if I could just drive there.
I mean, is it just your excuse type of? Because you could drive there. Get in your car now. We'll see you Saturday.
Hey, well, obviously that's. I mean, realistically, no, because I have.
Week.
Well, I have so much stuff, to
next
do
Thursday,
that's like 2 days
a week
of driving.
from today. You have a big event that you're going to be helping out with the Denver Food and Wine.
Yeah. They're doing a wine tasting and
virtual
demonstration virtually. Of course, with Riedel, a glassware company, to where they swear, even stuff down to Coca-Cola. She says, I'm going to bring you a glass to drink a Coke. She goes, do you drink soda and all of it? I said, unfortunately, I do. I want, She goes, and this is a little bit off topic, right? But they're doing wine, and it's how you drink wine. It matters so much on what you're putting it in, and 90% of the population still don't believe it or don't get it.
How you aerate it,
right? So they're like, she's like, we're going to blow your mind with wine, and I go, well, I said, I don't do wine, and she goes, oh, do you drink soda? I said, yeah. She goes, it's same principle from carbonated something. So she goes, I'm going to bring you a cup that I want you to pour your soda in. And drink this soda versus whatever out of the cup. And I said, okay. She's like, it'll blow your mind.
It's Riedel. But you're right there.
Well, Riedel is what they told me on the phone today, specifically when I said, I don't know if I want to call it Riedel or Riedel or Riedel or any. And
Riedel
they said,
is a chin strap and a helmet.
Okay.
If you ever
they said Riedel.
Well,
and you want to know how? I don't know what the expression is.
Riedel
Phonetically, how I phonetically remember is read a book. Riedel. I said it's read, like read a book, Riedel. They said yes. Now listen,
I must be saying it wrong my whole life. I totally could be wrong because I know it's a very famous.
I heard him get corrected.
Stemware.
I don't
glassware.
Put it this way. I don't know if I wouldn't bet my thumbs I'm saying it right. All I know is that I took information from people. I'm hoping know more about it than I do. So they said Riedel.
It's a crystal company, and they make very fine glass stemware.
Thank you to the Pueblo Chamber of Commerce. We'll see more of you, especially to Colorado State Fair. They're going to do a lot of it online, and they also have a great farmers market that's going on. But Chili Festival and some of their restaurants.
Yeah.
We're gonna
but there's some cool stuff going down in Pueblo, and I'll tell you, it's a very inexpensive place to live and to visit, and I'd encourage people. It used to be in the Banana Belt.
I'd encourage you to move down there and go out to dinner.
Yeah.
Well, but do you know what the Banana Belt and Bread Belt is? Runs right in southern Colorado, and that's where Pueblo used to be in the heart of that.
So we will be in the sunny state of Florida from the 5th through the 14th. We'll be back on the 14th. We'll stay for about a week, and then we're going to head out on the road the 21st through the 27th. And
that's 9 days, man. That's not a week.
The 21st through 27th?
Oh, no, you said from you're in Florida for 9 days?
9 days.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're back in the 21st through 27th. We hit the road for our fall road trip to go gather ingredients for what? Fall dinner series. And that's the 28th through October 2nd. You might want to mark your calendars. If your ears perked up and you heard Alex Seidel, that's the 30th of September. So mark your calendar for that. We will have Eventbrite links and event pages on Facebook ready to go for you tomorrow, Friday, as we launch that series. And
Give another big name, though, man. Rebecca
Weissman, yeah.
She's huge.
How you mean we got
Kyle?
Yeah, Kyle. Oh. Who else?
Scott
who?
Hibbeneth. You like that? I threw it a little bit instead of Hibbeneth. I don't know. We're going to work with it. We're going to talk to him, and we're going to find out. Rydell.
Oh, Rydell. All right. Thank you very much, Pueblo Chamber of Commerce, with hooking us up with competitive eater Darren Breden, Slopper champ, and just an all-around good guy. Thank you to Carrie Fetty, owner of Grays Coors Tavern in Pueblo, home of the Slopper. Right? Well, I need to go down there and get one of those bad boys. And Mark Antonation from Westword, just again, thank you so much, Mark, for joining us for about a half an hour on the show today. And Jay Parker, great work putting together today's show. Brian Freeman, as always. We will kick that rock down the road. I'm Greg Hollenbach. We'll wish you a great Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Modern Eater Show live from Logan Street.